All this, even though he's mental, this was all planned. The whole idea, all these guys, school shooters, killers like that, it seems like 98% of them hear voices. So I chased a guy one time and I asked the parents, will he, use the gun that he's got? And the dad said, dog, it all depends on what the drugs tell him to do. So in this time, will this guy shoot it out, brother? I don't know. It all depends what the voices tell him to do. So it could be drugs, but again, the voices. That's what scares me. The voices tell him what to do.
The subsequent trial turned into one of America's most notorious courtroom dramas, punctuated by continual outbursts from Ramirez. In that trial, Ramirez's fascination with Satanism emerged.
As far as Satan is concerned, I believe in a malevolent being. His description eludes me, but I have felt powers that are evil.
So the Rosicrucians would say that this idea of being in worship of your separate self is a form of Luciferic inflation, is what they would say, right? So this idea being that Lucifer is the bringer of the false light, the pseudo-light. And the pseudo-light is what's hungrily and eagerly tried to, be devoured by the separate self that wants to say, I am Jesus versus I am awakening the Christ within me as all beings can awaken the Christ, right? It's like the difference. So Lucifer would be the energy, and the being would say like, no, you're Jesus. There's a different thing there. And you see it so much, this Luciferic inflation, especially in the spiritual community. It's a very dangerous path because we're all seeking the light. But if we're not seeking the true light, we're seeking a light that defines ourselves as special. Mm-hmm. And we all are special, but special
does not mean better.
Exactly. And special means unique, but also equal. Mm-hmm. And that's the place where I think people can get lost. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the scary places that plant medicine can take you as well.
Well, that's what I've realized as well. There's there's an ego construct that can be also inflated in the medicine space. And there's almost stages to it of being like, oh my God, I have these superpowers. Oh, I've seen this CD of like my highest expression. Therefore, I must be Jesus. I'm the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And I'm going to tell everybody about it. And I'm here to heal the world.
Yeah.
For me, if that that presents itself, if somebody claims that they have all the answers, they know the truth with a capital T, or they're the ones to heal all of us, I run in the opposite direction. I'm like, run.
But Smith spoke out Friday at the Orange County Jail. Days after pleading not guilty to homicide charges, he agreed to an interview with the SoCal News Group, where he allegedly told the reporter he was both Jesus and God, saying, I have killed him. If they knew who I was, they would let me walk out of here. They would fulfill all my desires. He also allegedly said he expected to kill someone that day, saying, it was my right. He was in the crosswalk and presented himself. We now know that the Long Beach police were called to Smith's house in December of 2020 for a violent, mentally ill person. Smith was taken to the hospital at the time and placed on a 5150 hold. His ex-wife's family declined to speak with us, but reportedly told another newspaper that Smith was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia.
In July of this year, Card was with his unit at West Point when leaders reported that he was acting erratically. New York State Police took him to an Army hospital for an evaluation. A Maine law enforcement bulletin said that Card was released about 2 weeks later. The alert also noted Card was hearing voices and had threatened to shoot up a military installation in southern Maine. Card's cousin, Michael Mercier.
He's got a lot of problems up in his head right now. One of them's schizophrenic.
But that these revelations about Smith help him understand how something so horrible could happen.
This kind of highlights how mental health is becoming more and more of an issue. How do we pinpoint and acutely attack issues like this? Look at every mass shooter over the last several years. How many weren't suffering from mental health issues? Very, very few. And I think that commonality is really important.